off by saying if I had hair, I would have pulled it all out by now. Oh god, Unity. Uh. So here's the problem. This has happened before, and I thought it was a simpler fix than this. I have not found. So far, I haven't been able to fix this. Basically, I changed the value of a variable that's in my server config.cs, and Unity refuses to use the new value. I mean, literally, it's like it's saved the old value somewhere in memory and in its deepest recesses of its dark, dark past. And I gotta say, I I'm not happy with Unity right now. That's all I can say. So I've had to go one extra step. I tried all the I tried all the tricks that I found online, which are basically delete these files, um, and then what did it say? I had to uh, do a re-import. Like you can right click on a file and you do like a re-import and re-import all. And I tried all that. That didn't work. I went up to assets and I did it from here, which is just the same basic thing. It's the same exact thing. I just tried it from two different places. Um, nothing. Nothing. What's happening is in my code here, and I just I don't know. So I go to this, and you can see on my here I have an endpoint for Teams, and it says Teams. There's no extra values in there at all. And I put a break right here on the team URL, right here. And when I would run through the code, it would come here, and this would say leagues/teams. Right, just this variable, the very variable that is set right here. But you can see there is no leagues. Now it used to have leagues. Leagues was part of it. It would say something like this: leagues teams. Um, but that is not valid. Okay, so I don't know. I'm stressed out, really stressed out. Now I'm trying to get rid of all these things. I don't even know if I'm using this one. If I am, I need to get rid of it. These are sub calls. So yeah, see, that's not even being used anywhere. So in the entire application, entire solution, this is not being called. I'm not calling them the sub endpoints. I'm not using, so that can go away. But and this is another one. I think I am. I might be using that one somewhere. But ultimately, I'm trying to get it down to where I just have the base endpoints, the server endpoints. And then I call the child endpoints within the data file that needs to make the call. And then I have a router that actually decides whether we call these endpoints or we call the local endpoints. But that said, it's just been a nightmare of trying to figure out why it refuses. So basically what I did here is I just deleted the file, closed the app, recompiled, let it rebuild everything without the app. Of course, it didn't like it because I had deleted a file that had a lot of references. But I wanted it to rebuild like that just didn't exist. So what I ended up doing was then I created a new file. Hopefully it generated a new cache, a new whatever. I don't know. I deleted the cache. I deleted all the files for this, but Unity's been a butt. So let's find out if that fixes it. Oh wait, are we still compiling? Okay, so we're still erroring. Let's go see what I did. I wouldn't put it past me. What did I do so far? This will take me, show me what errors I have. One error. Assign user team. Oh, there is a call to it. What the heck? Oh, it's right here. I don't need that one. Is this one being called? Resources, server config, game processing, game data, leagues data, assign user to team URL. I don't think, I think I actually have a call within here. Let's go here. I have a get team, because that's not even the right place. Let's see. Create league. There's like get teams, get default teams. What does this come from? This is leagues data. Leagues data I don't even have. Assign user to team. Create league. All right, let's build this correctly. that's how this needs to happen. I don't know if I want to go out. Let's go ahead and just call me a team's data object. This is not my favorite way to do this anyway. So let's go to team's data. And this one's doing it, so we're just going to go. Wait, what does this return? String. And then we will go here, and we will just do it like this. User. Let's see, is that right? Go over here. Just to clean up. Trying to get it so that I'm not doing kind of what I've been doing these last half a week. Most of this week, actually. I think this is in the teams. Is that not gateway? Oh, it's MGR. Collection, gateway. And is it leagues? Leagues, no, teams. And this one, sync data, quick play, default teams, assign dash user. Okay, so it is assign dash user. API teams, assign dash user. Right. Okay, so that should do the same thing. And thus I shouldn't have this error anymore. Oops, maybe I do. Oh. what's the problem here? Da, 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 da. And then I don't need this anymore. Right. And then I have all these weird things. I don't know what these messages are really. I gotta clean them up. They're not gonna break anything. Make field read only. Oh. Let's go ahead and close these. Oops. All right, so we should compile now. I hate seeing messages like that though, because they just keep popping up. I'm like, oh, that's gonna bother me. It's gonna bother me. I know it. All right, let's see what happens now. Now that, if it somehow figures out how to continue giving me a non-existent value, I'm gonna scream. I don't know how it did it in the first place. But really, it's gonna go here, or it's supposed to, assuming everything's working back. Since I did this, we're gonna go right here, and then we're gonna attach Unity here, just so that we hit this breakpoint. And we run. I don't see how it could get that value again. There's just no way. I just say no way. No way. You can't do it again. I've done everything. I've destroyed the meta values. I killed the file completely, rebuilt everything, and just totally restructured it, retexted it. The only thing I didn't do is type it out. I mean, I copied the text to something else. I don't know what else to do. If that doesn't work, I'm lost. You already had this old server.config file that it replaces mine with every time I change something. My only option after this would be to do something like just change the file I'm calling. All right, stuff is happening here. That's good, because I was skipping that before. See, now it's back. Well, partially. I don't know. I mean, this is a weird thing too. Look, it works now. See, it sets up correctly when I toggle my screen. But what I don't understand is, why do I have to toggle my screen? It's like, why can't it just do it on the first try? Which is going to be a problem, right? Because when a person starts the app, their own app, is it going to do that? I mean, what's the trick to trying to make it do this correctly the first time? I don't know. Anyway, so what's supposed to happen? Let's go look at this console. The upside is I have no red yet. That's a good thing. I don't expect to have all the character poses because I don't have them all in my system. So these all appear to be mostly correct. I mean, even my user session must have loaded up okay because I got this far. So we got a lot of stuff that looks good. Server config not found. Oh, that might be old. All right, so let's go ahead and go with that. Now, I should be able to click on this guy. This is where I was getting the default team issue, but oh my gosh, it loaded correctly. Oh my gosh. I mean, it's ugly because it's offset. My text is weird. Don't get me started on the text, okay? I get it. It's ugly. I just, let's take the win that I have. I'll probably just change it to white for now. It obviously doesn't look good. I think it might even be using default text. It's not taking up the full space. But what do you freaking know? Everything's loading up. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy. I'm ecstatic, people. I'm ecstatic. It's back. We're back to functional. I don't remember which team is the Saints. Oh yeah, it's the. Do I even have them? That's the Senatine Saints. That's not the same thing. The team that used to be the Saints. I think it's the Swans, Lanier Stone Swans. New Orleans Saints. Saints? Let's go with the Swans. Confirm. Okay, so we're not past this, but hey, we did. We are making progress. Assigned a team user. It says successfully assigned here, but then down here it says failed to assign user to team unknown error. So yeah, we got some kind of an error going on here. But it's not all bad. I mean, we are making huge progress. So where am I? This is team selection manager. Assign user to team. We got assign response equals null, and it's not null. So I guess the question is, what response did I get? Leagues data. Oh. Wait a minute. That's its own function? I call team service. Calling the leagues to assign user to a team. I guess it's fine. The league's data is calling the team service. I should probably have it do it in the teams, but it is the teams. So so the question is, what happened here? User assigned to team successfully. It says that over here. So what blew up? What is this? Assigned team name has been removed, which automatically assigns both user and team identity. Oh, that's fine. All right, so we don't even need that. But the question is, how did we successfully assign and then not successfully? How did we have a problem here? User assignment failed. Whoa. Does that mean I can click again? Now you think I selected that first team just willy-nilly. That's not true. I actually picked them. I just knew which one it was because I hadn't assigned yet. When you don't assign a team when you first come in, it'll load that same league back up and you get the same league options. Obviously things get a little distorted when things get too small, like this. But I'm going to fix this because I already have it kind of fixed for other things. So I will adjust. We will adjust. I do like a better view of the logos. Anyway, I wanted to go with this game. Okay, can I not? It's not going to let me because I recompiled it. All right, so stop. Now it probably assigned, which means I'm gonna have to delete that team in order to get this to work again. Because once it assigned in the back end, it failed on the front end. So something it read incorrectly during the assignment. So I gotta figure out why. Now, so this is telling me a service is unavailable. It's not. I purposely turned off collections so that this would pop up. So, because collections doesn't do anything yet. So I just wanted it. I'm just testing it. I hate this image. It looks terrible. I know. I will deal with it. I had an idea. It was on an image. It looked really good that way, or at least a lot better. But I turned it off because when it was in this state, it would only, the page that was showing it would only show up in the middle, and I thought it was going to be too small to read. But I hate this view. So I don't know what I'm going to do. It's kind of like utilizing space while at the same time trying not to, trying to also be within the theme and design aesthetic of the app. And this is not within the design aesthetic of the app. Here's the thing. There are things that are better for landscape and things that are better for portraits. A text page looks better in portrait on here. But if I support every format, it becomes very complicated. It's actually kind of complicated as is, just doing everything landscape for two styles. Like this is a really big wide. This is what you kind of get out of a tablet, right? It's going to be within range of a tablet. And then if you go here, this is your typical phone, except this is super narrow. So if it fits in a super narrow phone in landscape mode, that means we are in good shape for pretty much any phone, right? So, I mean, any phone that's wider than this, which is most, are going to be wider than this, because this is a crazy thin. This was a Samsung Galaxy Fold 2, the second one that they came out with. First one had all kinds of problems, I guess. But they've never put in like a 4, 5, 6, nothing. You can't, there's no other Galaxies in here, although they put a lot of S's. They only went up to S9, no, S10. But there, you know, we're at S25 now. There's 15 versions of the phone. And I don't know how to get any more of these. Somebody said you could create them, but I don't know. I would like to just import like S5, S7, S7 because it's the latest, but there's all kinds of versions. I'm sure it's the same with iPhone. I mean, there's probably like a million. I mean, there's iPod on here. What does an iPod look like? It's kind of, it actually fits on an iPod, surprisingly enough. What about 6th gen iPod? Huh. So it actually fits on a 6th gen. I didn't know iPods could even run this stuff. How about an HTC 10? These are all pretty similar. NVIDIA Shield tablet. Okay, I'm just getting distracted now. It changes the outside, but the dimensions are the same. What about a mini? Oh, let's go crazy. What about a fold? Or not a fold, but a flip. Do they have a flip? Oh, they do have a flip. Oh, that's the flip being open. But where's the flip being in its time? Oh, they don't have the flip in the closed mode. That's too tiny. I would love to see what it looks like in a flip closed mode, but apparently they don't have that. Anyway, I guess there's only so much you can do. So this is, I wanted to fit here. Okay, so if I go here, let's see if it loads. Let's see if it loads the team that I already selected, because it said it's assigned it on the back end. Okay, so it did assign it on the back end. So yeah, and now my stuff is loading, kind of. Actually, no, it's only sort of loading. What the heck is going on? Oh yeah, none of these buttons work. Beautiful. They did work. I thought we were good, but not so good as I had hoped. I don't know what's going on. Okay, so here's what happened. Here's why some stuff is broken. This one's throwing me off for sure. But I checked in all my files. That's what I did. And some of them were, I mean, I just had tons and tons of files. And I was trying to, I checked them all in. I had to knock out a few things. But ultimately, you know, I was trying to think I had a good place to save and check in. But look, here I am trying to figure out what the French fries happened to all of my files. I must have whacked some. I mean, like, look, none of my buttons are working. It opened one of them. I don't know if I suddenly have a, if just like, they are responding. You can see them flicker. So when they flicker, that means they're catching the raycast. But there is a definite flaw with what's going on here. Let's see, clear. Can I open? Does anything click? It does say click. Switch panel is already active. All right. Object reference. Okay, so something. I think what's happening. Something got broken. Oh, this doesn't do anything. I don't need this. Oh, I created that for another purposes. I created that for something else. I was trying to. Yeah, don't ask. I don't know what I was doing. All right. It's like the navigation panel. Where's it at? Something get broken in here? Don't see something broken. You know what it is it's having the problems with this animation. I think that's what some of these broke for. It's supposed to be calling. I have a function I created, and I may have prematurely wiped out some stuff. See, I shouldn't need this because I'm not supposed to be calling this. Because there's a dot tween animation. That's not the one I want. Nope. 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 Game card zoom. Nope. Swipe. That didn't even work. I need to get rid of that whole thing. That's crap. Simulation. Utils. Percent rec transform. This function is supposed to be in place for all of those animations. Scroll panel, animator vertical. All right, so I think I may have to rebuild something. I mean, I could probably check it back out, but I don't want to. I don't want this working like this. It's such a simple thing. Can't remember how to do it though. I was using these images that would sit together like this, and then I would pull them apart and expose the screen behind them. It worked, but it was really convoluted. And then I built this full scroll panel. Why is it? And then I implemented a dot tween, a vertical animation on this prefab, on this vertical animated scroll. Oh, okay. Oh, scroll. Never mind. I'm getting it now. Scroll. It's not scroll. It's called scroll, but it's a scroll panel. It's not a scroll panel. But okay. So all right. So the find was the dot tween. This is the one I want. The scroll panel animated vertical, which is supposed to not need the top and bottom scroll images. So apparently it does, and that's why things are breaking. I don't know why it needs those. I don't like that it needs those. Because all I want is the image to load. So let's see if I can get, let's see if Bezzy can help me fix this. All right, let's see. Scroll. Let's see. Let's see. I mean, animate open. It is calling scroll panel vertical, I think, somewhere. I thought. Well, it's right here, right? Scroll panel vertical. Oh, we're in scroll panel vertical. Oh, okay. So this guy is getting called from somewhere. Scroll panel animator. Animate open. No, it's only if it's calling the right one. Is it? Okay, well, I don't know why it does it that way, but we're gonna fix this. Let's see if I can, let's just re-explain what's happening. All right. Using dot clean. I need you to update the scroll panel animator vertical. Animate open. So the scroll image background. Appears to open from the center of the screen. Until it reaches its preset height. The animate close and needs to update to animate in the opposite direction. However, is there a way to know I want the animation to have inspector settings that allow me to set these you know what I'm trying to figure out. This is what I'm trying to figure out. Okay, so when you go into this image, I have these images down here, textures, UI. I think it's this one. Yeah. Okay. So these are my scrolls, right? So I have these scrolls, and if I open one of them, I can go to this open sprite editor, and it has this top and this bottom. I wonder if these can be edited or used. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Okay, so I'm using a I don't know what the parts of that are though. Let's see. Border? Is that what this is adjusting? Okay, so all right, so let's see top and bottom borders. Let's see if it can do that. I'm going to ask. However, I want the animation to have inspector setting. Nope, I don't even want to do that. However, the scroll should only open and close to the combined height, combined minimum height, nope, combined height of the sprite, top and bottom size, i.e. Top and bottom border values. Now, most of the functionality already exists. However, I want the existing functions to be updated so they no longer require the use of the top and bottom scroll images. I don't know. I gotta be honest. Something happened. Something happened in recent weeks, and Bezier has been less than it used to be. It's been a lot less helpful. It's not been able to solve a lot of my bugs lately. It's been, I don't know. It's like it just got dumber. That's all I can say. I don't know. I don't know what changed. I don't know if it's just me. Maybe it's just me. Maybe my bugs have gotten harder and more complicated. But I'll tell you right now, I have been going at it a lot more. I've had times when I have had 4 things working on my code at one time. I've had Copilot, Claude Code, and Bezier all working on different files, and me digging through the files of another problem on my own that I didn't think any one of them could figure out. So I was digging through that. So I'm working on one thing and they're working on another, and then I would just go back and forth and check in on what they've done, and you know, they'd finish one thing and I'd go try it out, then I'd go work on my thing and go try it out, and they'd all be doing something. I had all of them messing with my code at the same time, which, you know, which I guess can be productive, but it's also a little risky, right? Because if one of them breaks something that another one's using, it could get kind of messy. I haven't had that yet because I try to keep them completely apart. And if I'm doing that, I say, hey, look, you know, only work in these files, new files or the file related. Like I might have Claude working on the back end and Bezier working on a thing in front end and Copilot working on something that overlaps or something that only works on a different service in the back end. Usually it's something I have multiple things going on services on the back end because the services are pretty distinct. And then I'd have Bezzy working on a front end item, and then me, I'll be troubleshooting some kind of a display error or something that I'm trying to work out. So yeah, I've had a lot of stuff. In fact, at one point, I actually think I had more than that going. I think I had 3 Claude code ones going. I had 3 sessions open, and they were all working on different services. And then I called Copilot in to work on a different thing. It's crazy because they were all taking a little time, and I just said, "Oh, I got this other thing. Oh, that's not going to be related." And I go type in the message, and then I go tell Bezzy, "Hey, I've gotten this problem in the UI. Can you fix this?" And then I'm like, "Oh no, these guys haven't been able to figure this one out." So I'll go through and step through the code. And I'm stepping through code while I'm doing my other thing. Now the problem there is that Bezzy won't let you run your code while it's doing stuff. So in those cases, I was bumping heads with Bezzy a lot. I'd be running this, and then it would give me a message: "Can you please shut off play mode so that I can do my thing?" And I'd be like, "Could, but I want to keep working on my thing." So is it like having 4 or 5 developers working on something at the same time? Maybe, but these are all like fresh out of college developers. You know, they know some stuff. They don't really gronk the whole thing. So it's kind of like I have to hold their hand through a lot of stuff. So it's not 5 skilled developers. It's 5 people who know how to syntactically write code, but may or may not be great at problem solving. Some of them are better depending on the problem. They solve pretty well, but other things not so much. Let's see. Bezzy, I think, is done. What did Bezzy do? All right. All right. I've successfully updated the scroll panel on a vertical to animate the scroll panel from the center using .tween with the following improvements: removed separate scroll and dependencies, complex position-based calculations, update scroll panel, single scroll image rec, scroll image references, height-based animation using do size delta method that reads sprite border values. How it works: animate open, calculates blah 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 blah, animates height. The scroll now automatically uses your sprite's border metadata to determine the closed height, ensuring it only shows the decorative top and bottom portions when closed, then expands from the center to reveal the center content. All right, let's see what happens. Let's see if we're any further along. I don't even know if it plugged it in. I just told it to update the animate open, and it may not have implemented it because I didn't tell it to implement it. So we're going to find out in a minute. So this should go here. There's a couple of things aren't working yet. I'm just trying to get to the point where I can continue to work on my game plan. But as I refactored a major UI thing, which was to remove some of the UI management of these management things over here. So I wanted to have tools that they would just call, because like this announcement board panel is going to be used for a lot of stuff. I didn't want all these managers trying to manipulate it. I just say, call the announcement board panel and do this, you know, give it the information you need. So yeah, that's kind of what I thought. Okay, so it didn't plug it in. So now I got to go tell it to plug it in. Okay, now I need you to apply the new functions to the I don't think you could. I don't know. Is it possible? Can you do it on activate and deactivate? Is it possible to add these to the activate / deactivate of the animated think that's what it's called. Animated scroll vert prefab. If not, then just update the navigation button manager, navigation button. So that it calls these new functions, these updated functions for the animate and animate close. All right, so this should trigger I don't know that it can. I don't know if you can like pause a deactivate or trigger something on activate. I would think on activate maybe, but I think it's either on or off. I don't know that you can animate it on, animate it off. I think it's kind of like turn it on and then reshape it when it's on. I don't think you can do both. I don't think it's like activate and deactivate are permanent. You know, unless there's a way to pause it, do the action and close it without anything. So this way, all you have to do is activate a method and it should trigger the animation is kind of what I'm thinking. Would be nice. It'd be cleaner. I wouldn't have to like have everything, oh, animate open, animate close. I could just say deactivate, activate just like I do any other panel. But with these particular items, it would, you know, have an animation effect. That's what I'd like it to do. But I don't know that that's plausible. Yeah, see, they modified the navigation button. So it might not be able to do that. And what it'll do is does not to also support. You can remove references to the old to use the vertical scroll animation on any panel, attach the scroll panel animator vertical component to your panel game object. Configure the inspector fields. The navigation button manager will automatically use it when show hiding the panel. All animator. All. All usages of the scroll panel or animated scroll panel vert will be using the vertical animation. There will be no usage of the old. There we go. Code is now cleaner. Exclusively uses your new center-based vertical scroll animation system. Simply attach component to any panel that needs scroll animation. Well, that's the prefab. It's like every time it's the prefab. So basically, if I want it to happen to all of my prefab, I should just go in here and go here. So, oops. So, to clarify, if I want it to always animate the open close of the full scroll dash panel of the animated scroll vert prefab, just attach the script to the, let's try it. Let's just do it, man. Let's not guess, let's just do it. Scroll, panel animator, vertical. Alright. Scroll image. The scroll panel animated vertical. Scroll. Can I just do this? Huh, maybe full scroll panel. Feels a little redundant, doesn't it? Because it's asking for basically the same thing twice. In the script, it asks for scroll image effect, as well as the full scroll panel. The image is connected to the full scroll panel. As the source image. So the three serialized values seem a bit redundant, as two of them are the same. In the meantime, let's see if that does anything. We're going to find okay, so it's going to fix this. It's going to basically turn it into 1 because 3 is 1. It's like, why are you asking me for all these things off the same panel? It's really all it is updating this prefab so it's kind of animaty. And I had this working. Yeah, I know. Problem, whatever. I keep tweaking stuff, trying to simplify. I keep going, why does this work this way? It's like, let's change it. Let's make it less. I'm always refactoring. So I'll go through a time where I'm working for like a month on making progress on something. And then I'll go through a time where I'm spending 2 weeks refactoring either AI's code, my code, or just things that have started to get a little clunky. I start seeing patterns. My brain will start to see patterns and replications. And I'm like, yeah, let's not do that. You know, it just all kind of all starts to clear. It's like anything really. If you spend a lot of time in something, you may first look at it. It's like Spanish, for example. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't know Spanish now, but I took 6 years of Spanish in junior high and high school, and every year it was what the next level: Spanish 1, 2, 3, advanced, blah 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 blah. But it was, different Spanish teachers. You know, it was high school level and junior high level, whatever. But each one was a little bit more complicated than the next. And by the time I got to my 6th year, the 5th year, I was still kind of I was a B student. I think I was a C student for the first 3 years. My 4th year, I was a B student, and then all of a sudden it clicked. My senior year, I was like a straight A student in Spanish. It's like, oh, what was it so hard? I've seen it 1,000 times. It's starting to click. And I was never fluent. And I got pretty decent. I had a decent vocabulary, and I could stumble through a conversation with somebody. But mostly I was taking Spanish. I was using my Spanish because I worked at a Spanish restaurant, Las Margaritas, for like 6 months. And everybody spoke Spanish there. Everybody. I'm not even sure why they hired me. I was the only guy there. I was a gringo, man. I am Chicano, all right? But I was like a gringo to them. I was, I'm a Chicano, which is a Mexican born in the United States. It's really all it is. All my grandparents are fully Mexican. All my uncles and aunts, and my parents. But my mom was very pale skinned, very Caucasian looking, even though she had a lot of the Hispanic features, just not the skin tone. And that's kind of me. I kind of have, my thing is I tan really easy. I'll go from white in the beginning of summer, but by July I'm dark as San Diego. dark as your I could blend in San Diego. But if in the wintertime I walk down there, they'd be like, who's this white guy going down the street? It's like, hey man, what are you? No, but except they'd speak Spanish to me, and I'd be like, huh? But anyway, I'm totally digressing, jumping off the tracks. But so anyway, to make things simple, it's your brain starts to click on things if you just spend enough time in it. It's just natural, and that was kind of the same. That's why people like you. Once you're fluent, but it takes a long time to get to fluent, right? And that's kind of the whole. That was my point. So anyway, let's see what happens. Let's run this thing. See if we get any animations that we're supposed to get. Play images, logos. Now I have these loading together, so they really only do one. All right, so let's see. That did not animate. And we're oh, that loaded up in the background. So things aren't closing and they're not animating. And all I did is open up a bunch of things on top of each other. Okay. Well, no animations happening when I click any navigation panel button, and not even closing when I click on other buttons as they are supposed to. So the whole navigation panel is not quite doing its thing. So if I go here, I have to stop this. I'm not getting a lot of errors, which is good, but the things I do have running are obviously not running correctly. So we're not quite there yet. So I go to the navigation button. So we got this. Everything's loaded. We got all the panels in here. All the buttons are loaded. Everything's there. See what animator components say. Playbook PFMs don't have any animator components at all. Oh, you know what? I wonder if these didn't they refresh? Do I need to what do you mean they don't have any animator components? Yeah, they do. Not sure what you are looking at, but all the -PF animation prefabs have the animator component attached. Now, unless it's thinking it needs to be, maybe I need to put it on the parent? I mean, it said put it on any panel I want animated. Or, okay, I could have put it on the parent, but you told you told me to attach it to any panel that I wanted animated. The parent is the prefab root component. Not the animated panel. All right, so let's see what happens. We'll just run this puppy again. Basically, I had it attached, but it thought it was on the root. I could have put it on the root. I don't care, but it did say it told me put it on any panel I wanted animated. So I just put it on the main on the panel that I wanted animated. So that's my bad. All right, so let's see what happens. Oh, okay. So that didn't. I mean, it animated, but it's it's a little wonky. All right, so I'm not even sure why that went off, to be honest. So that's that. Okay, so we're not quite there. Hmm. Um, a few things are off. The animation is growing larger than its base size. So open. So instead of opening to full screen, it is expanding off screen. Close to when I click on a different nav button, the original shrinks close to its original size and then deactivates, but the new panel never activates. Leaving me with a blank screen. 3. Open should start in the closed position and expand to the original part transform height. Closed position. Find top and bottom image borders and expand to the original rect transform height. Whatever it is set to. What else? Nope, I think that's it. So these are a lot of problems I had before, but I didn't realize I was still using the top and bottom image, which are ugly. I don't want. I mean, it's clunky, right? I mean, the more pieces you have, the more problems you're going to have. So you got to get it working with as little pieces as possible to allow for less complications. Now, what did I have? Is what I had functional? Yes. Was it ideal? No. it's just kind of like I didn't want to have I don't want to have stuff in my code that's just cluttering things, you know. It just makes things clean. It's not gonna be performant. You know, you have all these extra parts it has to load, and you got to manage those extra parts, and it just becomes kind of a mess. Honestly, I don't think it was using the top and bottom scrolls, but it was expecting them there. I think the image was doing what it was supposed to. I turned them off. They would stay deactivated the whole time, and it would just expand and close. I think it might have even been moving them with the image, but they weren't showing. So I tried to turn them off, but of course, because it needed them to be there, I probably could have just deleted those lines that referenced them, and everybody would have been happy. But I called AI, and sometimes I just think, why do you incorporate AI? Sometimes AI, yeah, it can take care of things, but it doesn't understand sometimes that you're just trying to simplify. It thinks all this stuff has to exist. So, oh shoot, doesn't like me to be in play mode. It's just, it redid the code, but it won't recompile without. Now it said it fixes all 3 issues. Let's see what happens. UI manipulation is a tricky thing. I really want to rebuild my background here. I don't want it to be an image. I've decided I do not want it to be an image. It looks, when I know that the possibility of creating a real scenery here is plausible, I can't not do it now. My brain is like, yeah, we gotta see if we can just put something in there. I don't know. I have to. No, still not working. It is opening and closing all of them now, though. Progress. Setup. Open. Navigation does now close previous and open new. So that is fixed. However, the resizing is still starting at full height and expanding off screen up and down for open, and then shrinking back to original size on close. We are not starting in the closed position. In the closed state, closed position for the open animation to expand to full screen, and we are not compressing position close it. So, no, I'm gonna have to close this. But at least this stuff's working, kinda. I mean, it's doing its thing. It's opening and closing, but this one doesn't have an animation, so at least I don't have to worry about that. But we are almost back to our original state. But I'm gonna check everything in and continue working on the game plan as soon as I can get everybody back to their original state, which isn't the original state. It's improved state. I've done a lot of refactoring, a lot of rebuilding of things to try to make it better. But this is going to drive me nuts now because I really hate looking at this 2D screen, 2D image. I got to start playing with how to create. I'll have to start watching some more YouTube videos and start walking through the process of actually creating a scenery here. I'm going to stick my stadium in the middle. I know it's probably not beauteous, but I'm going to use my stadium as the asset that's going to go into the middle. And I want to make it clickable. So you click on the stadium, then it zooms a little bit, just kind of comes closer. And then the panel shows on top of it. That's kind of what I want to do. That's my visual for it. And then once you do that, maybe it'll just zoom in further and zoom into the full state, the full state simulation state. So we'll see. I'm hoping. I haven't got cool stadiums, and I'm probably not going to have a lot of cool stadiums. I may have just the one stadium because I tell you, working on those stadiums takes a long time, and I have a lot of players and other animations to work on. So just having one will be good, and then eventually I'll try to get more in there and try to make it cooler. But I want to have some assets like these in there, real assets, so they're not just part of this weird image. So I'll go look and see what assets are available to me. All right, so you know, also AI is terrible at math. It doesn't understand math. It can't do math. So a lot of times I'll go in there and go, well, why don't you just, when I finally look at the code and go, oh, well, that's because your math is wrong. So all right, so it's going to put in some stuff here. And so I want to clear this out. So we're going to click on that one first. So this is what it did. Let's go look at the starting height and let's see what we got here. I gotta go see if that, I may not have that image. A lot of my images didn't load. I have a lot of images and none of them loaded, so I'll just see what's going on with that. But I don't need them at the moment. Forcing update. I don't have any errors, that's good. It's probably going to be a problem that's with the opening. No, fetch all plays. What am I looking for here? Showing values are being calculated for open height. Does that have that? Top 26, that's fine. That looks good. As far as the numbers go, the numbers look good. Huh. Oh, the numbers look good, but the animation is not starting at the closed height. Expanding to the open height. It almost appears that it is starting at the open height and adding the closed height. Because that's about the right amount. I mean, see how far off we are? I mean, we're like completely off the screen here. I mean, this is like not even close. So it's like we're starting in the wrong place. I'm going to see. We'll see. Apparently, it was not using negatives. See, this is kind of thing I'd expect more from Bezier. Bezier's supposed to know that in order to shrink, in order to make things smaller, you have to use negative Y positions. The top part is a Y position, right? And the bottom part is it positive? And if you go the opposite direction and put the positive on the, if you put the negative on the bottom and the positive on the top, you end up getting bigger. So I think what it's doing is it's setting the wrong parts short and tall. So let's see what happens. Let's see if it figured it out. It says, oh yeah, I got it as a negative. I don't know how it determines the height. I don't understand how it got bigger if it was just setting height, but it must have been setting the Y and X values, which does break things. So let's see what happens. So this is it. This is AI not knowing how to do math. It's supposed to know how to do this. Okay. Oh, look at that. Look at that. That looks pretty good, except actually I like it. Actually looks really good. I like it a lot. Except my contents need to fade out. I need to fade out the body of it when we do this. And why isn't it loading my game plan? Oh yeah, or no, this is looking really good. I think we're almost back. We're almost back, folks, to our original state. Okay, so hopefully we're almost back. Okay. That looks better. Now, one more thing. We need to add a fade out of the, is it content panel? Content panel. Content dash panel. When it is closing and a fade in when it is open. Should fade out about 1 second faster so that the contents do not appear. The contents disappear before it's closed. Yeah, I think we're in pretty good shape. I like the way that looks. I don't know that I like the add new overlapping the bottom of the scroll, because then it looks like it's not contained in the scroll. I know it's technically, none of this is contained in the scroll. Oh, whatever. Oops. Okay. Oh, it didn't wait for me. You know, that was one of the things Bezier was, they just did an update today, must have fixed this. When you were running in play mode and it needed you to turn it off, you had to tell it that you had turned it off. Which is fine. You say, okay, play mode's closed and it would continue. But now it looks like it actually waited for me, saw that I was no longer in play mode, and continued doing what it needed to. All right, let's see if that cleaned it up. So it is 9:55. Took me almost 4 days to get this refactored and all these new functionalities in to make things better. Is it better? Well, it's not visually better to anybody else but me, because I know what's going on in the background in my code reductions and updates. There are still things not quite right. Like, I have an image here that's supposed to pop up. It's the team image. It's not showing. It's like, hello, where's my team image? So yeah, that's the thing. That's better. See, it went away before. That's better. Yep. Gone away. Yep, we're good. All right. Still a little stuttery. I'm hoping that's a problem of me being in my mode. Let's see. Let's go see what it looks like in this mode. So this is what things look like when we're in a candy bar screen. Huh. I don't know if I like the way my scroll is being overly squashed. I don't know if that's an issue of... see how like it's going to absolute flat? It's not supposed to go to absolute flat. Does this do that? No, this is perfect. So there's something about the candy bar mode. I don't know if it's saving it, like it's getting that image information later. Huh. I'll have to look at that. But we are finally clean, I think. We're not fully loading yet, though. There's still things that aren't loading. I don't know why. But I think, do I have some errors? Maybe I have some errors in here. Yeah, I have 29 errors. So there's probably some errors related to those guys not loading up. Yeah, well... Yeah, we're having some problems getting my game plans, obviously. So game plans is a load problem. What else is going on here? Some of these are going to be replicative. In other words, you get like 2 or 3 errors for some of these. It's not terrible. Because the playbook is loading. I mean, you see these. They're kind of tiny. I don't know what I'm going to do about that, though. I wonder if I should... I wonder if I should do something dynamic. Oh, see, I'm asking for trouble here. Okay, so there's the current state is I have this be 2 columns, period. So when it shrinks, we just get 2 columns. But if I made this a little bigger, I could still do 2 columns. But because I have more space when I'm down like this, because it shrinks everything, right? But I don't necessarily need all this. Maybe if I either do 3 columns at tiny to allow for more on the playbook, or I just do 2 bigger columns here because now I've got this expanded width to allow them to be bigger. I mean, what would be better? Fixed size cards that would stay the same size even if I shrink like this and you just have to scroll more? Or just more little cards because it's got room to do little cards? I think I could do both. I know I can. So I know I have images for all these things, so something's not quite right. I have images for like all my plays. And you can see that only a couple of them actually have plays. And I do have special teams. I got to figure out how to load the special teams ones separately. Because see, this is a kickoff. That's an onside return kick, which is a defensive play, but it needs to be put into the special teams playbook. And shouldn't be these colors. That's an offensive team colors. That's not supposed to be. They're just supposed to be black lines, but whatever. But we're getting there. Again, these are issues that weren't from. They're not issues of things broke. It's issues of not having been developed yet to fix that. So We're getting there, you know. Just have a little patience. I wish I had regulars that would love to be here and help me, you know, answer questions. Just to kind of give me feedback. I need feedback. Feedback, people. I need people to say, hey, you know, this would be cool, that would be cool, without giving me too many new features. I've got a boat ton of features to build already, and I'm trying to stay focused. But cool, like, you know, maybe this would be better to look at, this would look better, you know, and kind of take in people's feedback before I get to that point where it's like, okay, it's kind of no point of no return at this stage. I'm going to get all this stuff plugged in, and eventually we'll be there. What I need to do is fix a couple of these problems, though. So I'm going to give myself a few more minutes. How long have I been on here? Holy moly, 1:30? All right, let's give myself till 2 hours. And we will see if I can get a couple more bugs worked out. And then, let's see this one. Active team switcher. Now this is the switcher thing. I don't know what active team switcher is supposed to be. I know what it's supposed to be displaying, but I don't know where the active team switcher. Okay, so on my change active team, that's right there. Change active team, okay. I don't know why this has to be the title screen manager. Okay, so I don't technically, that's not my title screen. This is my home page, which is going to be weird anyway. So that's home screen, but I have a thing called app load panel. That is more my title screen. This is where you see the game title and the start continue button, startup progress bar. That's the title screen. It just loads up on top of everything right now. So yeah, I don't, let's go to, let's see, what is it called? Title screen. It says title screen manager. Change active team. Now this used to be up here, but AI said, hey, you shouldn't have it on there, but it's not really great. I think I want my navigations to be separate from my codular stuff. Codular? Is codular a word? And I figure I don't understand fully why this can't be on there, but is it controlling something else? Home screen, navigation. I mean, it's doing some stuff, but I don't see any reason why it can't be on the home screen panel. Or it has to be on the content container. It just has to be on a thing that's already loaded, really, is what it comes down to. So when this comes up, it's like app initializer needs to be on the root, which is the main canvas. That's why this is the first thing it's going to load. It needs to have access to everything. Title screen manager probably doesn't need to be where it is, but it's kind of a whatever. All right, so let's fix this. Let's deal with it. So we have it calling this guy. For whatever reason, it can't seem to reference it. Active team switcher component. What is the active team switcher component? Is that supposed to be on the home screen? Change active team. It's a target graphic. User team selection. Not sure what the active team switcher component is or where it should be attached. I have a change active team button, which has see what all this is supposed to do, the viewport. Which has a background image that should be set to the user's active team. Existing code, but is not anymore. A break that happened. I'm going to blame AI for this one. Happened when you told me to remove the title screen manager from the home screen panel and put it in a root game object. Root level game object. Button opens the change active or user team selection panel. User team selection panel, which, if it still works, should show the user's teams. I don't want to. I don't even want to say that right now. That button opens the user teams selection panel. I hate telling you it should do this because then it's going to go, oh, well, let me build that. And it's like, no, don't build anything. It already does it. Just use the code that's there. All too often it doesn't look to see if something exists. It just thinks you're telling it to build something. And it's like, no, I've already got it working. I've already done it. It's there. Just make sure it's plugged in because something happened that it's not plugged in anymore. So I go through and continually try to get more things plugged in. But all right, so if we can get this working correctly, that'd be nice. Then we'd have, honestly, I'm not sure that since this is a panel that only works within the button or as part of the button, I'm not sure that I can't just stick it inside the button because it's going to display the selection panel when you click it. So it positions itself based on it being in there. So I don't know why, I don't see why you couldn't put it inside the button. Either that or I'd have to have like a special panel that's for, user team selection. I don't know if that's the best way. I'm kind of using it for that. See, I never had that before. See, what is active team switcher? I never had that before. And it's like, it's making me put stuff in that. Yeah, don't like it. I feel like it did put it on there. Ah, just feels weird. Just feels weird. I don't know. Something's off about that. I'm gonna have to step through this code and see. Huh. All right. Well, let's see if it does what it says. If it does what it says, I'll live with it for the moment. I find myself, and this is kind of what got me going on all this, is I was stepping through code and just finding things that looked wrong. I was deleting, cleaning, and I broke some things. I cleaned up a lot of things. Trust me, I had it going a lot better. But ultimately, hey, look, we have the 17/8. But it's not opening. It's not triggering my display. Oh, that's right. There is nothing because I don't know that this person's an admin. This user might not be admin. If the user's not an admin, it isn't going to do anything because it's only going to open up if there's additional teams for this user, or he's an admin, which means he gets to look at the default teams. So I'll have to switch over to Kyle to see if that's an issue. But I now have my team there. I'd like this to be a little bit more obvious. Maybe put like a helmet or something on there. I gotta figure out how I want to do that. But okay, so we are getting pretty close. I don't really like the way that stutters. I mean, it seems to be okay after it got stuck. Why is that getting stuck weird? See, that opens all the way. That opens all the way. And it's doing its thing. Like, look, now it's only going halfway like it's supposed to. So the issue might just be what it loads up in. And if the problem is that it doesn't toggle white, that's fine because you're not. It doesn't normally allow toggling. I would be cool if I could. I haven't figured out if I'm going to be able to get that working. But see, it's getting stuck when I hit the playbook. For whatever reason, playbook's getting stuck. I don't know if that's a loading issue. I mean, it's obviously a loading issue. Let's see what this looks like. Yeah, something has totally broken because these two guys are, oh, nope. See, they're breaking. It's not considering, it's not changing according, I think the problem is my animation scroll is not reconsidering the current size of the dimensions. It needs to recheck dimensions before it starts. Because we're getting in a weird, and it was working, so something happened there that tripped that guy up too. But we still have 36 freaky errors. Let's see. Error deserializing response. Get localhost 8080. Team user 10. Unexpected character encounter with parsing value. What? All right. Well. It mostly fixed it. Got that one going. All right, so it's having some serious problems here. Let's clear this, and then let's go back here. No errors going into that one. Nice. No errors going into that one. This one has 4 errors. Okay. So the game plan is totally crapping out. So the problem is, let's go look at the gRPC errors. Gateway. Calling game plan service. So game plan ID blah. Okay, so we don't have a game plan. Stone Swan, source team. Team does not have an associated game plan. Then we go to the game plan service. Game plan with ID not found. Found not found. Game plan found for ID. Mongo no document. Error retrieving game plan. Alright, so something happened to my game plan creation because it's supposed to generate a game plan for the first time teams. So something broke there. We're at 46. I'm hoping I can get this all fixed with less than, I don't know, 60. Hopefully we won't get that one again. See, what's the let's go create a new one. Plan is incorrectly building a user creating a user game plan if they did not get one, and doing the same for the user team, for the team if it did not get one, and then return those both with the default game plan on first call. However, now it just logs and returns nothing. Well, fooey foo. 10:20. All right, time to sign off. I'm going to call it for tonight. I got to hit the hay. It's Friday tomorrow. Hopefully I'll get everything back to its back into a state of functional. Gotta watch myself when I redo these refactors. I gotta learn to do refactors in smaller pieces so I'm not spending days correcting them. Nintendo, what the heck, man? You are literally showing up as I log off. I was gonna go to 10:30, but all I'm doing is fixing a bug. The new AI? Which one's the new AI? I work with 3 AIs now. I work with Claude Code, which is currently 4.5. I work with Copilot. I work with Bezzy, and I work with the not artificial AI a lot more than I used to because it was funny. The other day, I had 4 sessions of AI going at the same time. I mean, they were all doing a different thing on my code, and I, in the meantime, was working on an issue on the Visual Studio trying to fix another issue that AI couldn't figure out. So I was stepping through code, doing some stuff, while I had 3 sessions or 4 sessions of AI working on multiple services trying to pay for. No, well, I pay for Claude Code, but I had 3 sessions of Claude Code going all at the same time. And I had 1 session of Copilot going. And I do pay for Copilot, Claude, and Bezier, but I'm only doing the $20 a month thing for Claude Code and Bezier. And I use Copilot, but I paid for it last year in February. And I paid 1 year for it. So it doesn't expire until February, so next month. So they all have, pretty small limits, but I don't hit them very often because I bounce around enough, and I don't have enough bandwidth to burn through all of them. So oftentimes if one hits it, Claude Code is different too. Claude Code has a 5-hour window. So here's the trick. Here's a trick. If you use Claude Code, if you decide to buy it, I don't know if you know this, but because it's got a 5-hour window, it's fixed from the time you do your first request. So what you need to do is, if you think you're going to use it anytime in the next 5 hours, immediately ask it something in the daytime. All right, so you go into Claude Code. Like in the morning, I wake up and I go, "Good morning, can you tell me what the temperature is going to be like today?" Or some goofy thing, just say it. First thing I do in the morning, like I may not even do any work that day yet. I may not have any questions for it otherwise. But if it's like 6 a.m. in the morning, I'll go in and I'll just ask Claude Code some goofy thing. And it starts my 5-hour clock. So I can go work out, get some things done, come back in the next 3 to 4 hours, and I can ask it to do something. And I can ask it some massive thing. Like maybe I have some big project I want it to work on. Or maybe I need to rebuild something. Or I just want to do something that's going to take some work, and I'm going to crank away on it for an hour. But after your 5 hours is up, it resets back to 0. So since I started my clock 4 hours earlier, everything I do in that hour gets reset after 1 hour. So I could get a bunch of stuff done in 1 hour of just cranking through. And within that hour, it'll reset again on the next hour. So I don't have to wait 5 more hours. But if you only do your requests when you're ready to work, like say I go do my workout, I get some things done around the house. I say, okay, I'm ready to sit down and do some work at 9. And I crank away for an hour or 2 hours, and I hit my limit for 5 hours. It'll say, hey, you hit your limit. It'll reset at 3 p.m. And I'm like, oh, I can't use it anymore until 3 p.m. Which isn't that long because I can switch over to Copilot, or I go DoorDash or whatever. But sometimes that's kind of inconvenient. I have to wait. And, I can go work with Bezier or whatever. And, but if you start it up in the morning, have it, and then you just make sure you get some work done during that 5-hour window, you won't have to wait. It'll just reset right away. So it's just a little, we'll call it a power user tip for using Claude Code. Now that doesn't work for everybody because like Copilot doesn't have that. They have a 1 month thing. So if you use it all up, you have to wait till the beginning of the month to get anything back. But you get a whole bunch. You get like 250 requests or some crazy thing. I've hit it a couple times, but not since I added Copilot and Bezier. Now, Bezier is all about, it's basically a wrapper, right? It's a wrapper around Claude. I think they said they use Claude primarily. But it's a wrapper for Unity. And they're adding features all the time, so it's pretty good. And it can read Unity better. It can actually create some objects now. It's starting to get to the point where it can do some object creation, which is nice. So it's getting better at being able to manipulate the Unity environment and set things up and read it better. So yes, Claude can do a lot of stuff related to the code on the back end of a Unity project. But if you really want something that can read your inspector settings and read your hierarchy, Bezier's kind of a better choice. Now, Unity is building in their own AI. I've tried it. I haven't been impressed yet. But it's mostly free. You don't have to pay at all for the Unity one yet. So if I go to Unity and I go to AI here, it says free during beta. You get 24,000 points. So now obviously if you were paying for it, you would get a fixed amount of points. But 24,000 points is like, it's more than enough. You never hit. I've never, even when I cranked away on it for a few days and I barely made a dent in it. And it just resets. I don't know when it resets, but you basically always have. But it's free right now because they're building it up. Who knows, 6 months, 3 months, 10 months, a year, I don't know. At some point, it's not going to be free anymore. But they're just setting it up. It's okay. I hope they'll keep getting better. But for now, I'm using Bezy. Now, Bezy. There's a lot of things I really like about it. It's really good. I was kind of sold on it for a while, but it's really just front end best. Claude Code is the best one I use more than any. And Copilot, I use it because it's also Claude, and it can be. What's nice about Copilot is if Claude just can't figure something out, I can try a different LLM. I can try Gemini or ChatGPT. And the other day it actually worked out because Claude could not figure something out, and I switched over and tried a ChatGPT, and it figured out the problem. They just sometimes will hit it from a different direction and figure something out. So I had the option to switch over. And because it was also one that I was having trouble figuring out because I didn't understand that piece of code because, I'm still pretty new to this stuff, or new to these languages and how these work. And I didn't understand how this was put together. So I was trying to step through it and I was like, okay, this doesn't make any sense. So I was asking AI, I should have just had it explain it to me and then I probably would have figured it out a lot faster. But still, I have that option. Now, will I renew Copilot? It is a nice fallback. When I have to wait that extra hour, I don't have to stop. I have something to fall back to. It's what, $90 or $100 to $100 to do a year's worth of Copilot at $20. I'm finding $20 works. Look at it this way. I get me a whole bunch of options at $60 a month. And if I do Claude and Bezy for a year, it comes out to like $18 each, something like that. And because you get a little bit of a discount. And so with that and Copilot, I'd be basically paying about, what is it, $300 for a year, $350, $360 for a year. It's a lot, but considering unlimited Claude is $200 a month, and that's all you get. You don't get Bezy, you don't get any fallback. If you hit your limit, you're done. I don't know anybody who hits limits, but $200 a month, I'm talking $360 for a year, and I get basically unlimited what I need. Or, I don't ever hit the limits of all my AIs. So, there's my option. Unlimited Claude Code, $2,400 a year, or $360 a year, and I can get all of them for $20 each. So, to me, that's the way to go. In fact, if you really like Claude Code enough, buy two $20 subscriptions with two different accounts. And then just connect to both accounts separately. That's what I would recommend. And then when one runs out, you can just swap over to the other. Here's the thing it's kind of difficult to, if you have a big process going that you're working on in Claude Code, and you run out of your 5 hours, it's really hard to transfer the progress to something else. So when I know I'm doing something that's going to be kind of big, I tell it, build a document and do a step-by-step, work on one piece at a time, and I have it build the document with the exact prompts necessary to execute the next piece. So this way, if I run out of tokens, I can take that document, give it to another AI like Copilot, and say, read this document, execute step 2. Hopefully I complete one step before that happens. But Ideally, I would, you know. I'm getting better at managing my time. Plus, sometimes I'll like, okay, well, that doesn't work. I'll go work on something in the UI and I'll switch over to Bezier. And I'll just go work on Unity UI stuff. That's all I'll do with Bezier. Or I'll go just work on my own thing. Both of what I did have to do though is because I track stuff in GitHub. Claude and Bezier both will create documents. You know, in fact, they kind of create it constantly. If you tell it to, it'll create one for everything you ask it to do. And but it kept just dropping them in my code, and then I would go to check things in, and I have like 50 documents that were created by AI, and I had to put in the instructions. I recommend this. Tell it anytime it creates a document to put it in a folder within that project, and then exclude that project from your GitHub check-ins. Put it in the git ignore, and then this way, all of these things I can reference them if I want to, but they're not documents I need to check in. Most of the time they're not. They're like references of what I did. But if it's like an actual like design document or something, I'll move it to a different location. But all the ones that just explain what the code did or what it was doing, I just put them inside these. See, like a lot of them are going inside of this. And like there might be instructions for setting up a new feature because I have to go in and do some Unity hierarchy updates. So it'll tell me how to do that. Or just README documentation for something, and then eventually I said, well, I don't need that anymore. I mean, I can delete it or whatever. I can go through. It does do some stuff like this, which I like to keep. I like these little what do you call it, workflow diagrams that it builds. So sometimes I'll keep those, and eventually I'll check them in. But they have to be updated. So what I might do is tell it, hey, take a look at this user flow diagram, see if you can update it to the current state of my project. So anyway, so yeah, by doing that, it's a way to eliminate extra crap. Yeah, it's nice to have some way to keep track of what you're working on. It was actually but I do have it, so now I don't get these clutters of MD files, and I had to do so many things to read. There's so many files that Unity has that are just garbage files. Well, I call them garbage files. Unity creates a bunch of junk. I mean, when you install Unity, GitHub immediately wants to check everything in, and it's like 20,000 files, and I'm like, no. I had no idea what not to put in there. I knew the CS files I wanted, but there was other things that were connected to those. 1 to 10 Claude Code. Well, you can never give anything a 10, right? Because that means it can't be improved. I mean, it's perfect. It is the smartest thing since sliced bread. It's ready to take over my house and conquer the world. That would be a 10. There's nowhere to go but down, and most likely it'll be the human race. So on a scale of 1 to conquering the human race, I'd give it a 5. Maybe Claude, I think maybe a 6. It's really good. I mean, I like it, but as far as it goes, I wouldn't give anything else more than it. If it's on a scale from 1 to, I don't know, 1 to super productive, I mean, like I feel like, there's a bunch of them. There's so many code editors. Now, when I talk about Claude Code, you're talking about the UI for Claude Code. You're talking about the UI for Claude. Honestly, I still think I like Copilot better. If I was just to say here's what I like about Copilot that so far none of these tools do, which is kind of annoying. Copilot will let you edit the changes in place. Okay, so look at this. This is Copilot, right? So if I click on this and expand it, I cannot do anything with this. This is just these pluses and minuses. They're showing you the changes and the negatives, but I can't go in here and type anything. I can't change it. If I don't like the comments, whatever. It's my choices are accept or don't accept the change. This is the same with Bezier, and the problem is, I mean, I can approve it or don't, but there's sometimes it's like, well, I like this, but I don't like that. I don't want to have this little piece in there or whatever. Like, say I don't like this print, these logs it's putting in. If I wanted to get rid of that, I can't. But if I wanted to go ahead and keep this one, but not this one, I don't have a choice. It's all or nothing. So Copilot, when you make changes in Copilot, you get these little change file lists, and then you can click on this, and it'll give you a list.
And that list is like a little roadmap, right? It's going to break down all
Copilot, shh, quiet. Sometimes that hears me, and sometimes it doesn't. I do talk to her, so I don't mind it being on. I just sometimes, but like, so if you're using GitHub's Copilot, you go here, and I can edit this, right? If I don't like this text, I can go right here and go, oh, well, let's put this back in there. I want these stupidly stuff in there. I can still make the change because it's right there in the code. It's there. So if there's something I don't like, I can simply edit it. So I can, if this is a delete, so it's not something I can change because it's removing it. But if it's a, I can undo for that. But you can't with this. If there's 20 changes, I can selectively accept the ones I want. Keep, don't keep, keep, don't keep, keep, don't keep. I can get rid of the stuff I don't like. And if there's something I do like, but I don't like how it typed it, I can change it. That is so much nicer. It's so cool to be able to use that. So if I was to actually make that let's get rid of that. Let's close this. I don't need this anymore. But anyway, so if I was a pick, I like this one. I like this guy's UI interface better, only for that reason. Go away. No, I don't need to say that. But Claude Code is just smarter. I mean, Claude Code figures out problems better. It figures out bugs better. It writes better code in general. It does a pretty good job of explaining. So, I mean, as far as the LLM output, I like Claude Code better. And yes, I get to use Claude in GitHub's Copilot, so I get similar results, but still, there's things I like about both, really. One of the things I really like about Claude Code, though, and this is also really good, and this is a nice thing. If it's working on something and you don't like what it's doing, you don't have to stop it. You can let it keep working, but you can type in and go, hey, I see that you're doing blah, 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 blah. That's not correct. Don't do that or whatever. And you enter and it jumps into its thing, and then it'll read it while it's working, and it'll incorporate what you said into what it's doing, which is also really nice because I can just throw it in there and say, oh no, don't, you got this wrong. This is how this really works. And it incorporates that into its efforts. So that's really nice. So I can basically inject new commands while it's working, which is a really a good plus. So Claude Code's got that going. None of the others let you do that. Bezier makes you stop it. You can stop it, edit your original command to try to fix that command, and then it'll look at it again and try to restart itself. GitHub's Copilot here will, you have to stop it, and you can just give it the new line, and it'll read it and consider it. But it's a little bit more clunky. It's not an injectable action. So they all have their thing. But that said, I still use this one the most, just because I think I like it best. Here's the thing I don't like about Cloud Code. If I was to say something outright that I specifically don't like, I don't like that it doesn't use this window. I tried Windsurf and Cursor at one time, and they both put their IDE in this same window as the GitHub's Copilot. It stuck it in here, which was nice because it was off screen. Cloud Code puts it inside of your editor. So every time you open one, like if I open this, it splits my editor. So now I have one less editor space. And I don't like. You can also, there's a setting which you can stick it down here, but then I can't see my terminal when I'm working on it. I can't see my errors that are getting, and so I don't like that either. It's kind of, it'll stick it down here as a window in your terminal area. So I don't like the placement of Cloud Code. If I had to complain about something that I specifically wish it didn't do, it's that it splits my editor window. I tried to drag it over here. I actually looked online. There is no actual way to do that. So yeah. Let's close. What the heck? What is going on? Stop it. Did I click on something I shouldn't have? All right, well. Oh, look, I broke my broke my session. Which turned off all of my services. Yay. No, I don't think you can. Let's see. I'm almost positive it doesn't break out as a window. Because it's a split editor. So if you pop it out, it pops out the thing you were working on. So yes, you can pop it out, but it only pops out that editor window. And so yeah, I think you could do that and then create a separate editor window. What just happened? What is going on, man? Is that even the right project? What the heck? What just happened? Okay, that's weird. Okay, so yeah, let's see here. If I come on. Yeah, you haven't been here in a while. You've been off working. Are you getting ready to go to? You get to go to the Super Bowl again this year? Did you get me a ticket? Because Denver's going to be there this year. So if I move, sheesh, what is going on here? What I fix? Okay, so let's go here and say move into new window. So, okay. Okay, so yes, you can pop it out into a window, but this is the editor that it's working on. So if I click on, no matter what I do here, if I click close all this, if I go to any page and then I hit this, it's just going to split my current window again. Oh, assuming it's going to open it at all. Oh. It actually put it over here. Well, I mean, I don't know if this is ideal. I wish I didn't have to do that, but it does get it off my screen area. I guess I didn't notice that before. I thought, well, the last time I did this, I was working in an image and on a page, and it took the page with it, and it was just split out here in a separate window. But when I did it just for the editor, apparently it will open them up in a separate window. I guess that's not so bad. Yeah, yeah, all right. You kind of fixed that issue a little bit. It's helpful-ish, yeah. I could still split the window if I wanted to. I don't want to, but I could. I don't know what this is. Lock group. What does that? Keep it in place? I don't know why I would do that. Close all, close save, enable preview editors, configure editors. Huh. Anyway, so yeah, that might be a thing. Maybe I can use it that way. At least it gets rid of that. But I still wish it would just put it over here so I could have them in the same place. I have done that with Copilot though, because with Copilot I liked having the extra window because I was working before I started using Bezier. I would have one open that was just for me working over on the UI stuff. So here's Bezier. Now Bezier's got its own little editor space that it works on. So Bezier's the same kind of thing, right? So if I open this up to look at it, I don't want to undo it. All right, so Bezier kind of does a little bit like Claude, and you know, you can't undo or tweak or edit anything. It's just but it shows you all the changes. So again, it's all or nothing for all of the Bezier stuff. But it kind of gives you a decent looking output. But it's not quite, you know, not perfect. No, I'm thinking about switching over to Visual Studio 26, which builds Copilot in even more. So we'll see how good that is. I'm using 22 here. Yeah, it's always read-only mode. It doesn't. There's no not read-only mode. It doesn't say mode. It just says it's a read-only editor. So there isn't a write version of this editor. Yeah. Well, the problem is this is not my code. This is a window in which Bezier showing you what it changed. So it basically copies my code into this editor or into this window and shows you the differences. So what it would have to do is make it a two-way sync, right? So it would bring my code into this window, show you its changes, and then anything you do, it would sync back over to the other side. And I talked to the guy, his name's Keith. Well, he's not the only developer, but he's one of the lead guys. And he is actually, I am in contact with the Bezier main guy, this Kevin Lee. Oh, not Keith, Kevin. And he's actually really responsive, these Bezier guys. In fact, I actually had a bug I told him about, and he says he put it on the thing, and they had it fixed within a week, which was cool. So yeah, they're pretty quick, and I tell him about problems I'm having, and he jumps all over. And I told him I wanted it in an editor that uses like GitHub's Copilot, and he says they have it on their docket, but they said it's really kind of complicated because unlike Copilot, it doesn't work in the actual editor of your code. It's just gives you these diff windows basically, and there's no do and undo. It just shows you what it's adding and what it's subtracting and whatever. There's no tweaking this stuff. So Bezier's only been around a little over a year, I think, and they've done a lot. They keep adding. They added the agents. I don't know how the agents work. I've never tried it. Maybe it's because I'm not using the right version. Like I've got the cheapo poor guy version. This is one of the things I complained about. I said this at one time was a fixed width column, and I couldn't read half of what these things said. So it would give me these documents, and 3 of them would be like game plan situation, and it would all be cut off, like at a width like this, and I had no idea which document was which. And they didn't even put this. Like see how it gives you the tooltip? That didn't exist either. I go, how do I know which one of these is? They don't have a tooltip. There's no way to expand the column. There's no anything. Within a couple weeks, they had that fixed. Now, it wasn't just me. They had other people who asked about these. But, you know, when I'd mention it to them, and he'd be, oh, yeah, we'll put that in as a bug. And within a few weeks, they had it fixed. So it's pretty cool. It's not unlimited expansion, but it's big enough now that I can actually... does it get bigger based on how big my my width is? I think it did get a little bigger. It's got it's probably a percentage. This one doesn't look like it grows. You can't really read these ones past its size, but hey, you know, maybe they'll fix that in time too. This should just be bigger. I don't understand why this is so tiny to begin with. I mean, this should be at least as wide as your editor area. Then you can have a big old text in here. Why would they keep it short like that? I don't know. That's me. But there was a lot of things early on. Even in the time I started working with it, just since October, I complained that that when I first started using this in October, I was going, there's no way to start a new thread. You'd click on the new thread button and it would just build off the existing thread. And they go, oh, well, we'll put that in as a bug. Bam. Within a few weeks, they had it fixed. It's like, yeah, he was listening and they were fixing stuff. And I don't know if I'm sure they have other people, because you go to their Discord, they have a lot of people using it. But I think part of it is I stream it. I'm streaming Bezzy. I show them I'm using Bezzy. And I think as a streamer, even though I'm a nobody streamer, you know, I've only got, 5 people on at any given time. And that's a good day. I think they still prioritize it just because it's out there and somebody might see their tool. So I think that maybe I mean, I feel like they're responding to me specifically. I could be wrong, but it's just because I know they have a lot of people who talk about and use Bezzy. So anyway, so yeah. We are getting a lot of things I've been getting going. I don't know what you saw last. I've got a lot of functionality that I've been kind of re-implementing, and like I rebuilt how my announcement panel works, and I implemented this network services thing on my announcement panel. It tells me when I have a service that's not running. I purposely turned off my collections service. Oh look, this broke. Oh, no, it didn't break. I didn't turn my services back on. I have none running. Okay, so the reason I did this is twofold. One, it's useful. It'll tell the user when they're offline. So if you're playing the game offline, it'll say, hey, you're going to go in offline mode because you're out of, you know, the network's not available to you. If you're out camping or something, you don't have any phone service. You can still play the game within the context of what the game does offline, but it's going to tell you. And then you click on the details. It'll tell you what's not there. Now, whether or not I have this details button available, this might just be an admin thing, because I don't know that I'm going to have, you know, any kind of details that show up for this available for everybody. And then, so assuming that that's the case, I should be able to go click continue and it'll continue to run offline. But I need to start. I don't have a lot of my offline functionality in place. I've built, one of the things I did recently, just in the last month, was one of the things I started doing. Started building offline functionality, which is to say, I've got my offline database going. I've got a number of processes now that are pulling data into the local database, and I set up an offline first functionality, which means if the functionality exists and can run offline, it'll do that first. So the game will run better in a lot of cases, and then it just synchronizes to the servers. Now there's some functionality, like when you're playing a game against other people. Yeah, so November, I built all this just in the last month or so. I built an API router, so that when it makes a data call, it goes through the API router. The router then decides if it's going to go local or to the network. So if you're offline or if certain services aren't available, like now I built this service health check, it can check for specific services. So the API router will go, hey, can we run this offline? And if it can't, it'll call the API, it'll call the service health monitor and go, hey, is this service available? If it is, then it goes out and calls the service and gets the data back. So any functionality it needs certain services, it'll make a call and check the service health on those items. If not, then you won't have those functionalities offline. So there are a few services that won't run offline. One is you can't buy anything. You won't be able to buy anything that the game sells offline. You have to have a network connection. So you won't be able to run games against other people because those are triggered online because they all run on the back end. So if you're running a game against another person's team, it runs on the server so that it's accessible to whoever, to the other person or to anybody else who has access to that game. So while the game is running, it's going to notify the other person, hey, you've been challenged. Your team is in the middle of a game. Click here to go see its progress, and you can click. It'll take you to that game, and your game will show up on yours, and it'll show you how your team is doing on that game against whoever the person is. Now you may not want to. Now you can only have your team can only be running against somebody else, one person at a time. So it's not like, so if your team is in progress with something, you can't play against two people at once. And this allows you to watch whatever your team is doing whenever it's doing it, if you want to. Now, what limitations? Now, if a team's not available, like there's no human teams out there to play against, you'll get paired up against an AI team on your app. So if you go say you go over to let's see, I don't even know if this is going to load. I don't know what this is going to do with no services. It's supposed to pull local data, and I have all my images local, but whether or not, see, it can't even, I don't have it showing that I have local teams. What I'm supposed to, that's something I haven't built yet, but what it's supposed to do now is whenever it builds up a team or a league, it puts it on your local system. So it could theoretically grab your local team, your local information, all from your local device. So you don't have to be connected to the network. But that's all new, and I haven't fully implemented that. That's why I need to install my, I have to get the services running, at least for now. But anyway, the whole idea is that you can play this game offline. I really want it to be a game you can play offline. If you're somewhere where the stupid concrete building doesn't let you do anything because your signal's being blocked, then play offline. You can play offline. It'll let you play your AI mode or whatever mode. The game will just run within itself. It doesn't have to have network connectivity. That'll just be some limitations of what you can do. And that's what I want. I want my game to be fully playable all the time. Well, playable all the time. I guess it can't be fully playable, right? But that's what I've done. The last month has been seeing me do all that stuff. November. I don't even know. Did you know that I had my game plans fully loading? Oh, have you seen my new cool play editor? My play editor is awesome. One of the things I've also built in the last year or last month was an automatic. I'm going to say that with a lot of emphasized syllables. Automatic. Jeez. Name generation. So basically, I create this play. I use my play editor. I create a play. I set the routes, do blah blah blah, tell it what to do, where to go, and then I hit save, and my automated name generation reads what I did, what my settings were. Yeah, I could probably show you. Let me show you. I should. Oh, it's already 11 o'clock though, dude. You're keeping me up so late. Hold on. Let's see. Hopefully AI didn't break anything, but I don't even know if you've ever seen have you ever seen my play editor in functional mode? I don't know if you've ever seen my play editor in functional mode. Now, keep in mind though, as of this moment, the play editor is unlikely to be part of the first release. It's because there's a lot of things you just have to know to build, to use the play editor. And I haven't decided how I want plays to be integrated, or if I truly want people creating, because I feel like all the plays have to be kind of validated and tested. And that being the case, I'm not sure I feel like it's going to be ready. I don't want it to be something I have to spend a lot of my my development cycles on trying to make it functional for everybody to use. But it is going to create the plays for me to implement into the game. Plus, getting plays is kind of one of the collection elements of the game. So there's that. Are we all fully running? Wait, why isn't Gateway running? Gateway, why didn't you run? What happened to you? Did it break my game plan? What happened? Game plan up. Did game plan not load too? No, game plan started. So something, Claude, you broke my game plan, man. What'd you do, man? You're holding me up. You're keeping me from game plan. You broke the game plan, Claude. Yeah, there's an error. A compile error. You declared it twice, my friend. Gateway's kind of important. It's the one thing. That and playbook are the one thing that's required. I'll tell you this, though. I started all my development on the web. I mean, my very first prototype of this game back in a year ago last November, which you could probably see because I have, there's probably a couple of those videos up on YouTube. I don't know when I started doing the YouTube, but there's probably some pretty old ones that have it. All that was done in the web. All was React. I had no backend. I had nothing. I just built it in the backend. And then, but since then, after doing that and building the first iterations of this game, I actually built the UI. I kind of got the play editor. I got the game plan and the playbook and the basic stuff. In fact, I even had it kind of navigatable through the screen. It was kind of good. I had some pretty good stuff. But once I started working on Unity, my React web page actually became the forgotten child, and a lot of my updates and stuff have since broken most of the code in there. The only thing that I've got working over there, I had to spend a good solid week and a half fixing my play editor because I needed plays. I needed to develop more plays. And then I started getting lazy. I was like, frickin' A, these plays take so long to develop. Once I got them going, I worked with AI and go, can you read how I built this? How I built the structure of my plays? And then go get plays from the internet and convert them and put them into and use my my play editor code to rebuild new plays. So basically it wasn't using play editor, but it was formatting the JSON the same way to implement new plays. And it did a really good job. It's like it read my plays format and structured out a bunch of new plays. And bam, I had like 18 plays in like 5 minutes more. And now I could probably create even more because I told it 6 of these, 6 defense, 6 offense, give me a couple special teams. And I had it build them all out, and it used my structure that I built and formatted for my play editor. And then it designed new plays. And I was like, that's awesome. So now I only have to go in and tweak now. Yeah, yeah. So you've been around since the beginning. Cool. CD. Let's see. FTZF. Oh, that's that's another thing I did in the last month or so. I finally named all my project files to match my actual name of the project. I had everything that was. I had all the different iterations of my name. I had F. I don't even remember all the one was PFFM and FPFM and it's like different projects are all named, and it's like that's not even the name of my game anymore. But as I kept changing the name, the next project I created would have different acronym. And I says, all right. And then I had different acronyms throughout my code. I was using FTZF or PFFM and FPFM in all kinds of different places through the code. I'm like, okay, this is going to be a problem. I'm going to get really confused. So I go, time to do it. I just bit the bullet and said, let's rename everything. So I had to refactor and rename, and that broke a lot of stuff. But eventually I got it fixed again. And so now everything's named correctly. The only thing not named correctly yet, my actual database is still called PFFM. So at some point I got to fix that too. But that's the last remnant of my because changing the database name was going to be a problem, so I didn't want to do that yet. At some point I'll do it. Okay, so now I think I have things running. All right, so let's go back over here and click on here. Oh, man, what did you do? Wait, what? That's not even, what? Huh? Why am I getting those errors? Those errors aren't even... I didn't tell you to do npm install. What? What? Just wanted you to run. What are you trying to do npm install? Why are you trying to install stuff? What are you doing? Oh. Well, I don't even know why it's trying to do that. Oh, look, I barely use Copilot. Oh, it's the beginning of the month still. Well, I do need... Why am I getting this? I don't know when this changed. Well, you know what it could be. That's my YouTube time. So that means I actually started running. Remember though, when I first started doing this, I wasn't all on this channel. I had my other channel too. So I put a bunch of stuff on the other channel. Wait, what is that? So the error messaging is that npm install is failing. With the one this is a common npm installation error that can have several causes. Build. Do you want to include the following logs from the build output? Sure. I don't know why it would care, but maybe I need to restart my npm. I don't know why it's trying to do this though, because I don't. Do I have something that's saying like update my? I mean, I can do this, but I don't know why it's trying. Why it's doing that? Why are you being a jerk?
Because the only thing I've updated recently is Go. Oh, that's how long you've been around. Does it tell you how long you've been a subscriber? Can I open this now? Oh, there it goes. Ah, okay. Yeah, this has been, I always had a lot more people following this channel. And I stopped creating the other one because it was just too hard to build anything. I wasn't getting, I'd rather start with my 120 people than start with 0. I think I got the other one up to, I don't even remember what I got it up to, 20 people. I still have it. What I was thinking I was going to do, and I still want to, was create like a recording, videos, you know, little short, little update videos, logs, and just start putting those on the other channel. So they actually be little status updates, little tiny things that just kind of talk about where I am, what I've done, blah, 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 short things, maybe 5, 10, 15-minute videos, and just keep putting them on the other channel. And so it would be more like a, how's this project going kind of thing. And I just, you know, I just got too many freaking things going on in my life. What are you doing? What is this checking nonsense? What are you doing? Oh, did I implement the service health monitor on the front end? Oh, I did. Oh, you know what? I don't know if that's gonna, I have not tested that functionality here, by the way. I could be stuck. I implemented my service health monitor and I said, put it on the UI on the web and put it on the back end, but I've never tested the web one and it might be blocking me. So you may have to wait on the, see, it's stuck on something about this, oh, it did error. What happened? Uncaught chunk load. Chunk loading chunk app layout failed. Yeah, I can't show you the editor right now. The funny thing is the editor, well, no, I guess it does require back-end access. It doesn't require logging in or anything for me right now because I just run it offline. You didn't know about it before November 2020. Really? No, the other channel only existed in November 2024. I only created it. I mean, that was the first year that the other channel existed. This channel's been around for a long time, but the other channel was only around since last November. This one and my Twitch channel, the same name, I've had them for 2 years, 3 years, both of them about 3 years. I still only have what, 190 some people on my do I even have 190 people on my YouTube? I think it might still be like what, 160 something. This channel's kind of slow. I don't even think I've hit 200 yet on this channel. On Twitch, it's up to like 200 and something. This is my oh, this, have you actually clicked on this link before? My YouTube link for my business. These are the cases I've told you about them before. These are the cases I created a long time ago. I still have them. I still sell them, but I'm all out of clear ones. When every now and then I bring it up that I still sell these. But how many subscribers do I actually have on this channel? Oh, I'm getting there. 192. It's almost 200. I need to do something to give me the big bump, you know, push me over to 200 mark. I was playing Mega Bonk this last weekend. It's actually not bad. I might play it again some more tomorrow night. I have to figure out, I want to do some shorts and stuff for my other channel. I need my other channel to start having stuff. All right, so I can't show you the play editor right now. I have to fix this. I'll take care of it tomorrow because I do need my play editor. I've got most of them working, so next time you come back, I'll show you the play editor. But I have to hit the hay, man. It's 11:20. I should be in bed. I got to get up early so I can get working tomorrow. Tomorrow I don't have to go DoorDash. Well, I don't go DoorDash on Fridays. Okay, so I've almost hit, what do you call it, platinum or whatever they call it, the top level DoorDashing. But I think I'm gonna have to give up on hitting it because here's the deal: you have to have 100 dashes every 30 days, right? And I only go out at lunchtime. I go out like 10:30. I usually start around 11 till about 1:30, 2 o'clock. So that's what, 3.5 hours? After that time, it dies. And before that time is no good. So if I wanted to get more dashes without wasting a bunch of time, I have to do it at night. And I don't want to DoorDash at night. It sucks. DoorDashing at night sucks, especially in the winter, because it's just a pain in the rear to find numbers. It's hard enough to find them half the time in the daytime, much less trying to do it in the dark. So, and I always said, I'm not going to worry about every hit platinum. I don't care. But my numbers kept going up. 78, 79, 80, 81, 82. You're at 88, 89, 90. These last few days, I'm finding that I can't get past 98, 99. You need 100. But here's the problem. I only get, now even if I focus solely on DoorDash, I only get maybe on a good day, I might get 7 dashes in that time. You know, because some of them are long, some of them are short. I do Uber also because the goal is to make money. And I reject like 9 out of 10 of Ubers. I probably have like a 3% acceptance rate. I don't know, some stupid amount. But every now and then one comes in that's pretty good. And they'll give me a bunch of choices because, of course, all the crappy ones nobody wants, which is most of their dashes. So they keep coming until eventually I take one. But anyway, that said, today I'm at 99, but tomorrow I don't dash on Fridays. 30 days ago would have been, tomorrow would mean all of my Wednesday from 4 weeks and 2 days ago will fall off. So on Friday and Saturday, I lose a bunch of, Uber Eats. On Friday and Saturday, I lose a bunch of the dashes I've got because I don't go out and they drop off. So Wednesday and Thursday from 4 weeks previous fall off on Friday and Saturday because that's 30 days before. So Monday and Tuesday are like Friday and Saturday from 4 weeks before. So I can try to catch up, but usually by the Friday and Saturday drop-offs, about 10 dashes. So I spend all of Monday and Tuesday trying to get 10 dashes to get me back up to the 98, 99 range. And then on Wednesday and Thursday when I'm out, I drop like 5 or 6 both days. 5 or 6 fall off, 5 or 6 come on, 5 or 6 drop off, 5 or 6 come on. So even if I hit the 100, I can't maintain it. There's just no way to maintain the platinum level. I would only have it for the day that I do it. You know, I'd hit 100 like at 12:30 and hope for some good results for an hour before I quit. And then the next day, 6 will fall off and I'll be back in the 90s. So I was like, I don't think it's worth it. I'm wasting too much time trying to hit these stupid numbers. And I've even been accepting a couple of crappy DoorDashes just to get the numbers up. And I'm like, I don't want to do that. It's a waste of my time. It's a waste of effort. I don't think I'm going to be able to maintain it. The only reason I thought maybe if I hit it, I'll get more offers more frequently that I want to accept because they'll be better. I'm getting the better offers. And then maybe it'll be easier to maintain once I'm there, kind of like a, momentum builder. You hit it and then you just try to build momentum up and hold it for a little while. Maybe I can get it up a little bit. I don't know. I don't think that's going to work. I don't think it's going to be like, ooh, all of a sudden you went from, 3 offers an hour to 6 offers an hour, where you just get better offers more frequently. Plus, you have to hold a better than 70% acceptance rate, which means that's what? You can't reject more than 3 out of 10. So if you get a bunch of garbage ones, and right now I'm hovering at about 74, 75. I was up to 88%, but I was on a big streak of rejecting stuff. It fell. But I read that it's a cycle. Or what do you call it? It's a rolling level. So your 30-day hit is only for 30. It's only for 30. It rolls. It's a rolling number. So I won't be able to keep it. Now, unless I missed something, but when I read online it was a rolling 30 days. So I don't know. Maybe you might get a couple of the benefits. Maybe like the one time, what is it? Here's the thing I've noticed. I don't know. I think I read online that other people have had this problem too. You hit 98 or 99 and the offers stop coming in. At least around here. I'm serious. I'll go out. I'll be like, dash. I'll get 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98. And I'm still in the rush time. I'm still in the prime time, 12:30, 12 o'clock range. Nothing. I go 30, 40 minutes, nothing. 45 minutes, nothing. The last time I hit 12:30 the other day, I had 98 or something. I didn't get a single dash. I switched over to, I had Uber on and I went out and did like 2 Ubers. Oftentimes I would start an Uber and I'd immediately get a DoorDash, but nope, hit 98 or 99 and it stops. It's like they don't want to, it's like maybe they have too many platinums around here. They don't want to push me over, but I can't seem to get past because it literally will stop giving me orders at 98 or 99. Today I got to 99. I was shocked. Yeah, maybe they have too many platinum and they don't want to water it down for the people who are already there. So maybe if people drop off and you have a chance to get in but they'll block you out. I don't know. It could just be me being a conspiracy theorist and I've just been unlucky. I don't know. But when I'm sitting at 99 for 40 minutes, I'm like, this is still rush time. And usually I get something. If it's even a bad offer, I'm not getting anything. Zero. They just go cold. So I don't know. I feel like, I guess we'll find out. I mean, if I ever hit 99 again, we'll see. But anyway, man, I got to go to bed so I can get up and work tomorrow. I got to get this done. I didn't tell you this. I'm taking a certification for being a physical trainer. A personal trainer, fitness. I've been working out 6 days a week for the last 15, 20 years, and I have not gone a week without working out in probably 30 years. I've tried every kind. I have another channel, by the way, which I haven't put anything new on in like over a year, mostly because I've been out of a job and I can't do the niche, which is my channel's niche. But the other channel was, I did workouts. I did people's workouts like Athlete on X, I bet Beachbody, Peloton, all those guys. I did all of them. I did Insanity workouts, P90X, the HIIT workouts, a lot of the really popular workouts. I've done them all. I've completed them all, done them all. And I was recording and doing the videos for them. And I would go through and then give my opinion about them and whatever. But I don't. Okay, I'll take a look. So anyway, I said, you know what? Well, an uncle of mine goes, you should try to be a physical trainer. And I thought about being a personal trainer 30 years ago when I was, working out regularly since high school. And I was like, well, I was in my 20s. I was like, let's try it. It's such a pain. I don't want to do this. It's going to take 6 months. But now you can do online training from one of the big 3 certifications for personal training. I think there's 3 of them that are pretty well known. And this is actually one of the better reviewed ones. And you can do an online course. And I says, you know what? I'm going to try it. And so now I have to complete 9 modules in 3 months. I've completed 6. So I only have 3 to go. Finish those, do a little bit of studying. Oh, it's a lot of, what do you call it? Call it anatomy, a lot of body anatomy stuff. And oh gosh, I glaze over. It's like, what do I need to know these muscles for? I mean, I know what they are and what they're called, but they go into these little tiny, all of what cells are doing what and which ventricles of the heart do what. It's like, I'm not training to be a doctor. I just need the training I need to be able to teach people, to guide them in working out. So yeah, I'm learning all that garbage. So hopefully I'll finish that and be able to take my test and maybe make some money that way. I figure if I could get a job, what's nice about that, it's one of those things that you can do part-time. You can also do it. It should pay a lot better than, because even at the lower ends, it's $50 to $60 an hour for a beginner personal trainer, and it can easily go up to hundreds of dollars if you get real experience. But so if I work even just a few hours a week, that's more than I make on DoorDash. If I get 1 or 2 clients, that's all I need. That's enough to supplement my income to the point of being able to work on this app and feel like I'm making more money than I make doing DoorDash. And it's the same thing. You work a few hours a week, right? So if I can get out and be a personal trainer for a few people, I think it'll be good. I work pretty good with people, and I think I can do that pretty well. So maybe I could even do some online personal training, home to home kind of thing. Might be better in some cases if they've got the tools for it, or the UI, the setup for it. They have to have the weights and workout stuff, but still, I think it would be good. And plus, it'll help me to motivate too. I can do my workouts at the same time. I can demo and show stuff, and guide people through their fitness journey. So yeah, it'll be cool. Now those won't be like streamed. Those will be online, me working with them. So yeah, it won't be anything like that. Oh yeah, I have a website, by the way. Actually, no, wait a minute. I took it down. I mean, I didn't take it down. I just turned it off. Actually, no, that's not true. It does exist. It just, you can't buy anything on there. ActiveMindsGames.com. This is my website. Oh, this is actually my admin site. Never mind. I mean, that exists too, but I don't want to go to that. I don't want to go to the admin page. Jeez, what the heck, man? HostGator. See, got my stuff on here. I used to sell stuff on here. I had it all hooked up so you could check out and stuff, but because I ran out of the most popular product I had, which is the clear X cases and Mage Cages, and I was getting charged a monthly fee by both my credit card processor and my host, and the bill payment service. I decided it wasn't worth. I wasn't making enough to offset those charges, so I had to turn it off. But this was my website. But I could easily, turn it back on. If I just don't do enough marketing. When I start doing that, I have to create a site specific for that. Maybe I'll do what do you call it? Square page? Square? It is square. It's not square. What's it called? It's Square something. Square is the payment, right? The payment processing. Square site or something like that. I don't know what it's called. There's a couple of them out there. I might create one of those. Just create a generic. Or I might just use, maybe I'll just use Patreon. I'll do videos and then people can buy personal training sessions on Patreon. Maybe I'll do that. That would be kind of cool. Huh? Do it online and connect it all to my personal, to my Patreon. Anyway, so if I was a better marketer, I could probably sell some of these cases I have, but again, I have too many freaking things going on in my life. If I am not a marketing person, if I ever start making any real money, like my game starts doing well and I can buy a marketing person to help promote it, I'll get a marketing person who can help me promote all of my stuff, and I'll put them to work. The first person I want to hire is a marketing expert. Not only, and they could help me market all of my stuff. That would be the first person I hire. The second person I would hire is a graphic artist. Somebody who can do a lot of the graphical work in my products. Because I created a couple of board games that need artwork to be finished. That's all they need. They need artwork. So I need a graphic, but it's more like I'll need a graphic design person. And then I could probably even do some stuff with AI. I know people hate people who do AI, but until I can afford to hire artists, AI is it, man. These things, I still sell these. Even though I don't have a website, I have people keep coming back to me asking to buy these. And I sell them through my PayPal account. These magnets and these flex iron bases. I have a lot of people who still buy those from me, and I still have those in stock. So, all right, let me go look at Discord. What'd you do on Discord? So I gotta go to bed. You didn't do anything. You didn't put nothing out here. Oh, is it on this? You put it on this? Holy moly! What the heck is that? Holy moly, what? That's a big, dude, I read enough on my ISSA training program. Library Wi-Fi and a burner laptop because I'm technically under a massive NDA. Oh, let me not expose that. I don't know what that is. What is this for? We were purposely delayed. Oh, so is this from somebody there? Somebody at, it looks like somebody who used to work there. Desperation score? Did you know? Desperation score. That's hilarious. No, how desperate they are for cash. They know, DoorDash knows that people prefer generally will accept offers that are at least $1 a mile. They know that that exists. Once they are tagged, the system deliberately stops showing them high-paying orders. The logic is, why pay this guy for a run when we know he's desperate enough to do it? Wow, the full. Wow. Wow. You know, if somebody like this was to, you know, whistle blow, if they could prove it, you know, it's like, I don't know. I mean, if I wouldn't put it past it, because that's kind of the conspiracy theory you always think. It's like, they don't show you, there's no way to know what the actual tip is, right? There's no way a delivery driver knows. They know what the tip says, right? So, but unless you can communicate with the person who's ordering the food, the customer, you don't know that that's what they actually tipped. There's no proof. They could say tipped $5, tipped $3, tipped $6, and then you know what the base pay is, and so you know what you're supposed to get, right? But you don't know what the actual tip is from the customer. So they can make up whatever number they want. They could tip $20 and give you 15. You wouldn't know. It's not like you can argue it. You don't. There's no way to prove it unless somebody comes in and audits them somehow. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff that could easily be done, and you can't prove otherwise. But I'll tell you this: I don't know who that is, but DoorDash is way better than Uber, and I know Uber is ripping you off. Uber is. I don't even know how. I mean, I guess it's possible that there's people out there tipping like pennies, and because I have actually gotten $2 deliveries from Uber for like 3-mile drives. Like a $2 delivery for 3 months. Uber will find a way to give you losing deliveries. It's nuts to see $2 deliveries. And it's like, well, isn't there a base pay that's at least that? I mean, how do you not get at least $2 or $2.50? I mean, it's nuts. Uber, I've seen in a day, every day, I average of 10 Ubers, there's probably 5 of them that you literally make less than 20 cents a mile. And that's not even counting the double back, right? So if it's like something like $5 for a 30-mile drive. So this means it's basically $5 for a 60-mile drive. So that's 20 cents a mile just to get the food there. Then you got to come back, which chops it up again. So now it ends up being like a 10 cents a mile to drive out there and come home. Because unless you're going to keep doing your dashes wherever you end up, and then just end up in Canada, for me, I'm down in Seattle. So if I end up in Canada, because I just keep taking these dashes that go out there, it's like you're just wasting a bunch of money, right? Yeah, and it's hard, right? Because it's partly driver's fault in a way, because well, it's also convenience, right? Customers want to tip you. A lot of customers want to tip you, but they want to do it the easy way, right? They want to add it to their credit card charge because not everybody has cash. But again, drivers don't have any idea what's actually being tipped. There's no evidence of it. So I don't know. I feel like there is probably a way to technologically make it better. And I think somebody someday might come up with it. I can visualize, as a developer, I can visualize how you might approach creating a service that works like you're the central processing. So you get paid as being the central processor. But instead of going, so like when a customer orders something, it automatically goes to a driver with their tip, and you're just in communication with the driver only, or with the customer only. There is no central hub connection. I'm picking up your order. This is your tip. There should be a way to have direct communication that says, hey, I got this order. I'm sending you this tip. Some way to, this way you can say, you can like maybe have a reply. Thank you for the tip, the $5 tip. I appreciate it. Then the customer knows that they tipped. One of it could be a good habit because with DoorDash, you can actually text your customers from the day. So when you're done and DoorDash says, hey, this was your order plus tip, because it always gives you that little summary at the end. You could just text the customer and go, thank you for the $6 tip. I really appreciate it. Thank you for the $8 tip. I really appreciate it. And they can write back and go, I tipped you $12. I tipped you $9. So I think that's where DoorDash probably got in trouble before. But now they lower your base pay, like you said, to adjust. But I would think people would notice that, right? Because they would say, well, how come my base pay was this? And, they would, because it shows you how much your tip was. So now the summaries always say pay plus tip, and it shows you the tip. So if you tell the customer, thank you for the tip, and they reply and say, this is what I tipped you, it should match, right? Because they can't take your tips anymore, but they can lower your base pay. You might start noticing a trend, high tips, low base pay. So if you're paying attention, you should be able to see that stuff. I don't pay attention. I'm not that guy. I should, but I don't know. As long as they're better than Uber. Well, Uber does, or DoorDash does a lot of stuff and messes with stuff. I think they did. A lot of them drop stuff. Uber Eats is the worst. I think their base pay is like, I don't even know if it's $2 because you get really bad. I mean, there are people who don't tip, but I won't take. When did I start? I probably only started a few years ago myself, maybe 3 or 4 years. It was always just kind of a habit thing. I do it in the summer or whatever. But now that I have a job, or now that I have no job and I need money, and I'm trying not to burn all of my retirement, so I go out to try to save a few $100 a month. But I'm hoping this personal training thing can be more lucrative and I can stop doing DoorDash. But you've kept me up till midnight now. Thanks a lot, man. Good talking to you. I got to hit the hay. Till next time, God bless.